Welcome back, guys. Here we are, game number 2, ready and underway. Newbee against compLexity in this best of 3 from the group stage of the Manila Major. I'm Gareth, joining me is Ryu, and the draft, Ryu, looks pretty similar to game number 1, right?
Oh yeah, it's stock standard. Are we gonna see anything else stand out? Let's change it up a little bit. Complexity. Honestly, their opening was good, but what happened afterwards wasn't so good. Maybe they just needed to ban out the void because that definitely hurt them there at the end. There, we talked about the time dilation, everything, and yeah, Batrider's gonna be taken out this time. It's just one of the situations where you get beat by different things, and maybe just taking out one of the problems can help out complexity here, and that problem they felt like was the Batrider.
Oh, I didn't want Moo to get his hands on the Batrider now. What was in that position before? Was it the Phoenix? Was that first phase
Yes. Yes.
So that leaves Phoenix in here for Newbee if they want to go for it. You know, it was kind of the hero of Epicenter. Sunray is a great hero, but they start things off with a How Lifestealer. How about that? They first phase, first pick, Lifestealer straight out of the gates.
I thought they would do that last game because that's what they love to do. This is the team that will always pick Lifestealer in the first 2 if they feel confident enough to beat the enemy team. And whoa, that is an immediate response. Phoenix and Enigma.
Well, it's a little bit greedy with the Enigma going into that jungle and Radiant side, so you don't have that nice little cluster of camps over on the Dire side that you do. But Z-Freak, obviously, adept at that hero. I'm wondering where the Phoenix heads to, though. Is it going to be Hanskin Phoenix? We've not seen offlane Phoenix for quite some time now, but it was a thing. It used to be a thing. Do you think we revert back to it, or is this definitely going to be a support Phoenix for complexity?
Support, they can still pick Weaver or something, and then that solo lane will be fine. I'm thinking right now for Newbee, like, do they want to pick Rubik now? Honestly, because I think Rubik's amazing versus both these 2 heroes. But no, they're going to go for the Lion instead. Who would have thought that? Newbee picking up Lion.
Yeah, Lion for Chuan. What a surprise.
That's probably like Chuan's 9 out of 10 games, Lion. And then the other one is just like, I'll just play another sport.
No, it's like, can we play Enchantress here? Not really. Give me Lion then. All right. Right, I'll play Lion then, I guess. And
his enchant got nerfed. Now he's on Lion duty again.
That's very true, actually. Invoker taken out. Don't want to give Moo that hero. And speaking of Moo, now his hero pool has been quite deep. Dragon Knight is still out there and available. Could be looking towards that to kind of push into towers a little bit heavier. I think Death Prophet, though, could be a good shout. Silence against Enigma and Phoenix is good. The damage output you've got is pretty damn amazing as well. But it just adds that tower pushing threat that you don't have yet from the Lifestealer and the Lion.
I like DP here more just because Dragon Knight, I feel, can get countered easier against a Phoenix and Enigma because there's so much pure damage and it'll just eat right through his strength. Whereas DP, you have a Silence to work with, and you have a lot more potential of chasing down. And sure, the Dragon Knight has the potential to push towers every time his ultimate up is the same thing with DP, and with Dragon Knight you have a lower cooldown. But I just think DP with that Silence could be that X factor against this, and then the Spirit Siphon is just amazing at running down a lot of heroes. So I think it complements them more.
Yeah, the one thing you lack maybe is, like, you know, a Lifestealer bomb or something like that. But we don't often see anymore the kind of reliance on, you know, Storm Spirits and your Pucks and heroes that blink in with a Lifestealer. Obviously, you could look towards your offlane for that. A Queen of Pain ban. That's a little bit surprising for me. Neither DK nor Death Prophet are actually picked up here, or banned out actually by complexity. While Newbee, what do you think they aim towards?
Newbee should ban out heroes that counter Lifestealer that they want to really do, which is a lot of images, or Tiny doesn't really counter Lifestealer that much, but he does add the extra potential to split push Lifestealer and going and out farm a Lifestealer once he gets the Ags. But it looks like complexity, they just want to have this strategy where they're just going to group up as 5-man and they're just going to constantly push down the towers. We could see no, I don't want to say Drow. What's another cheesy here? Oh, they could go. Huskar.
I think like Drow Ranger could work, but it's scary against the Lion Finger of Death and the Lifestealer just running at you. You do add a lot of laning potential though, with your Dazzle and your Phoenix and pushing into tier 1s very fast with the Enigma Eidolons. But Drow Ranger's, you know, one of those very hit and miss heroes. If your laning stage goes poorly, Newbee could run away with things very early on.
If they go aggressive with against the Drow, I think she's just going to feed an Enigma in this situation with Dazzle being picked up. That means Phoenix offlane or Enigma's offlane. Most likely it'll be Phoenix. And you can't pick Drow in this situation. Nobi, they can just pick up. They could even pick up AA right now again, and that would counter out Phoenix. That would counter Dazzle. I mean, why not do it again? This is a good game to do it. It'll counter Enigma's mech. You can go aggressive again. It's just the perfect pick right now for Newbie, but they might do something else. And what else could that be? Well, I would like to see them just pick up their support here and leave things wide open, but
Yeah.
we'll have to see.
Yes, I'm still looking at heroes like
Okay.
like the DP, maybe a Silencer or something like that. Just have that silence available against Enigma, Phoenix, and Dazzle, all heroes which are heavily reliant on their skill sets. But that's going to be what Kaka Lion and now the Enchantress for Chuan coming through. Indicative of early game aggression. You know, you can roam onto lanes very fast. Also, a decent hero that scales into the mid game as well with the Aghanims and the Dragonlance, of course. And complexity. What are you aiming towards? What are you going to go for? Clinks is out there. Clinks is pretty good against Enchantress and Lifestealer. Tanks up against the Lion with your Death Pact. It's been a favourite hero of Chessie as well.
Huh.
Behold the horn of Magnus.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that means we're either going to get potentially a spin AM or something next here.
Ember.
Ember, yeah, could go into later stage games. I like seeing a hero that can pick up an Abyssal Blade though. So they have lockdown on the carry. But I've seen Ember still go Abyssal Blade later into the game. But I would like to see one in this situation where, yeah, if it goes 50, 60 minutes, having an Abyssal Blade carry couldn't just straight up win you the game, especially with Empower on your side. You can just blink in and Abyssal, and then most likely the enemy carry's dead. So with a Magnus here, it's just signaling, for me at least, an anti-mage pickup that they probably want to do. And, okay, and what Newbee are going to do is, well, complexity, you pick super greedy lanes. Why not just pick up an Alchemist, and we're just going to farm it constantly? They can't pick up AA now. Complexity.
Well,
oh my goodness. Now you're forced actually to end the game earlier because you're going against an Alkin Lifestealer.
Like, the big thing here for me is that the big things here for me, Complexity have no nuke damage, right? They've got, like, okay, Shockwave from Magnus, they've got Midnight Pulse and Black Hole, there's no direct nuke damage. Sunray is good against the Alchemist, but they don't have any amazing way to kill him off, nor do they have an amazing way to kill the Lifestealer apart from said abilities. And
they have no counter push. Like, yeah, like talking about around the map, Alchemist can just split up the map.
Exactly.
And they can't push out the lanes fast.
That was going to be my point B, because Complexity, they want to group up, get Blink Daggers, go for the Wombo combo, which, you know, they've got a ton of. RP, Black Hole, Sunray, and Supernova. But if Alchemist is taking your tier 3 and knocking on the doors of your barracks while you're looking for the Wombo combo, you know, Newbee, they could kind of drag this game out and pull them across the map and play a bit of tennis with them.
It's just looking really good for Newbee right now. Their draft is super solid. Complexity are just going to need a miracle 5th pick here and to change my opinion of them like winning this game. Right now, you're looking for an offlaner for Newbee in this situation that can add more split push potential, or they're not going to listen. They're going to go for more split pick-off potential around the map, and he does benefit from the Ags, so you can go for this item build with Armlet on Night Stalker and Lifestealer.
Oh, yeah.
You can just go heavy face DPS rush in this late game for Newbee.
And that Aghanims from Night Stalker gives that vision of the jump. Because Complexity, once it gets like 20-25 minutes with the Blink Daggers up, they will be looking for that jump. The blink in, the combo plays, but Newbee should be ready for them. And what's your call? What's your bet on here for the 5th and final pick for Complexity?
I mean, the only thing they have left is Anti-Mage. In all honesty, like, that's the only thing I can see them potentially winning this game with. And even then, it's going to be all on the Anti-Mage to win this game. They can still maybe go for Sven, but I don't think that's enough. He's just going to kite it. So,
Assassin.
okay, so PA, this is just another weird hero where I'm trying to see how she's going to build it early. Is she going to go for a straight Vanguard? Because that's the problem with PAs nowadays, is she's super squishy. and you always want to build a Battle Fury so you're able to keep up in farm. But Magnus will help you out with that, with the Empower, with farming speed. But at the same time, you're going to need to fight constantly around the map because PA doesn't have enough wave clear. Magnus, sure, Shockwave is okay, but it's nothing like an Alchemist. And all Newbee really have to do is just play keep away and make sure they don't feed over too many heroes. And this game looks in the bag for them.
compLexity have like no roaming heroes. They've got to be very solid on their lanes and not give up anything here to Newbee. Well, Newbee early game looks, you know, pretty damn hot for them. Lifestealer, Enchantress, Lion, Night Stalker, all heroes that can be mobile around the map.
Night Stalker level 4, or minute 4 in the game. How did they stop this, Gareth? I'm just so scared right now for compLexity. I hope they can prove us wrong and show us why this draft can work.
It is honestly very spooky, but Chessie, Phantom Assassin, going to be heading down towards the bottom lane. Limp will be playing your Magnus towards the mid. Hanskins on the Phoenix, and it's going to be a Swindles Enigma looking towards that off lane, while Z-Freak picks up the Dazzle. Over on the Dire side, though, Howl, Lifestealer, no surprise there. Kaka picks up the Lion, because of course Enchantress is for Chuan. And Moo, Alchemist heads towards mid, while KP will try and pick up the pieces down in the bottom lane with his Night Stalker. How do these lanes actually move around? Do you actually just want to sit back as compLexity and first 15 minutes just farm? It's like an AFK farm game for them.
This is a very interesting situation for me, where it's compLexity. If Newbee pressure with the Enchantress early on, I want to see where Chuan wants to rotate. Does he want to prioritize shutting down the Enigma, or does he want to try and get kills on the PA in the bottom lane, just shut down her farm? Because I don't think you can necessarily kill the Magnus unless he screws up the Skewer or something along those lines, or he already used it before. So can't really gank him. You can gank the Enigma in the top lane for Swindles, but I'm interested to see what compLexity are doing. Are they doing a dual lane, Dazzle plus Enigma top, or what's going on? Or are they going to try to prioritize shutting down the Alchemist in the mid lane? Because if Alchemist has a good start, we all know what happens. I mean, we see what happens when he has a bad start. So imagine if he has a good start in this game.
I have a question for you.
It's not going to be a good answer, probably.
I don't expect much from you, Ryu, but sometimes you have these little gems of knowledge, and I wonder, do you have the answer for me about the blocking of the camp up towards top lane? Swindles moved up, he obs warded, and he sentry warded this pull camp. What is he looking to achieve here?
Okay, so he's hoping that Newbee are going to try and deward one of them, and with the compLexity, he's going to deny his first creep. So what he doesn't want happening is them being able to pull back the lane constantly. And in this situation, is he going to TP back? What is he going to do here in this situation? I mean, he has 3 clarities he started with. I'm more interested to see why Swindles just went back instead of just going with the creep wave.
He doesn't want to use his clarities already. He's like, nah, sod this. I'm going to regen up. So
but he doesn't have enough for a TP. So he's just going to walk back to lane?
Yeah, I guess so. Well,
without blocking?
Enigma doesn't walk, He kind of just wobbles himself into existence, spirals himself around. But
he gurgs it.
Yeah. Why not block the actual pull camp then? Why not block the small camp as well?
I do not know that question.
Okay.
Because in this situation, maybe he doesn't have enough time. Normally Newbee like to TP rotate. So if he's not fast enough and he goes deep in, they could scout him warding there. So that could hurt him. Whereas he does the safer play and puts the sentry down, puts the ward down. He's going to have movements constantly of showing where the Lion or potential Enchantress are coming from. So I like that. But I'm just questioning right now why he's not starting in lane. I'm just totally confused here.
It looks like he wants to try and farm this side camp first.
Okay.
Eidolons move over. I'll try and... No, I lied. Swindles is not microing his Eidolons. He's actually just going to leave them there, and they will dissipate into non-existence. Down the bottom lane, though. What's happening over here? KP, Night Stalker in a 1v2 for now. Phoenix plus PA as they block him up and get a little bit of damage down onto KP. But Tango's up a nice juicy tree there as Dazzle walks over. Mo towards the mids against Limp on the Magnus. 3-0 actually against the 0-0 of Moo's out. Things not starting off amazingly here for the Alchemist, but should pick up as he gets himself into the acid spray and maybe forces the good old Magnus out of lane a little bit. But I just want to keep a close eye on this Swindles Enigma and see exactly what he's up to.
I think that's the most interesting thing in this game right now. It's like him and then maybe Chuan's creeps in the bottom lane just bullying Z Freak out. But besides that, how is this Enigma going to pay off? Is he going to get levels? And against the Lifestealer Lion, I think he could have came to the lane a lot sooner. And they were able to... It was really smart of Kaka what he did. He like pulled a creep wave off and it made sure the equilibrium went back to Newbee's side. I've never seen that before. But what he did early on is... You should just rewatch the game for all the people who want to know how to deal with, you know, maybe a Lich or Enigma denying a creep in lane.
Oh, Limp, 1-1-1 build here, an early point in Empower, not the second point in Shockwave. But he did pull off a nifty little skewer back and did a bit of damage back to Moo, but things are all fine for the Alchemist as Hanskin and Z-Freak taking absolute battering here from the Centaur. Chuan making a name for himself down on this bottom lane already and really piling the pressure onto compLexity at a very early stage.
And it's only going to get worse too when the Night Stalker starts getting levels, and then you're going to have Lifestealer eventually rotating over, and that could be the tipping point for this game, is like Lifestealer rotating when you have a PA in the game. Like, don't get me wrong, if you start getting some RNGesus on your side from PA this year, it was amazing, but they're going to have to make sure they weather the storm early on, and they're trying to kill the tomato. Tomato hate real, and that is why you don't eat your veggies anymore.
Got him. Got him. Oh, Limp. Again attempting these skewers back into the tower, but Moo should be okay. Acid Spray up to 2, and he's got this DD rune to get these last hits in as well. Swindle's Enigma hasn't died. He's level 2.5. He can farm up this side camp if he wants to as well. Just keep his gold incoming. And this Enigma's doing, you know, a reasonably good job. He's not really applying pressure to this safe lane, but he's farming and gaining levels safely. And that's the big thing for him.
He's actually doing way worse than he would have done starting in the jungle. Whereas KP is TPing out in the bottom lane, but they don't have stuns. And he's level 4. He just TP back to the tower, actually. He has a salve to work with. This is just depressing if you're, like, compLexity in this early game stage. You're not applying any pressure on the Alchemist. Your Enigma's only level 3. If he had started in the jungle, he would be 4.5 right now, or in this situation. So, and Chuan is making a lot of space for the Night Stalker. He's level 3 too, so he hasn't just been farming. Trying to set up a kill here, Jesse.
He's got Blink Strike back to the Phoenix, so he's okay. But Moo, this is where it gets dangerous for Limp, or at least annoying for Limp. As the Acid Spray gets spammed out and Moo starts to gain a little bit of an advantage on this lane with the damage he's doing back. And if Kaka had been there a little bit earlier and denied that rune, it would have been very, very difficult for Limp to actually regain any kind of foothold. But down at bottom lane, in there you go. Nighttime has come. The darkness is his friend. The Night Stalker, dive away by the Phoenix, will not allow KP to pick up a kill here, even with the help of Chuan. And compLexity, they live to fight another day as KP just runs straight into the face of Chessie, mashing into the Phantom Assassin. The top lane is pushed in by Hao, who's free farming himself away really nicely, 29-9, and pushing the lane into tier 1.
Yep, this is just all Newbee so far in this game, even though the score says 0-0, that's benefiting them the most. Whereas compLexity, they need to get a lot done, but with their heroes, they're very passive by nature, they can't really rotate, and they're just not getting the equal amount of farm right now. Meanwhile,
Jesse, Sunray is there, but cancelled by Hanskin, and Chuan picks up that first blood that they were looking for down in the bottom lane. While towards the mid, Limp dropping low again. Moo has his ultimate down though, and that Soul Rink will keep him spamming out the Acid Spray, while that Chemical Rage will heal himself back up to full as well.
I mean, in this game, Alchemist doesn't even have to go for Armlet, I feel. He can just go straight Radiance at this rate, and he'll have it like at 10 minutes.
So, Kaka, you've got to land these stuns, my friend. Still, no kill on the Phoenix, but the pressure applied here on this bottom lane is becoming palpable for compLexity. Chessie's being shoved out of a farming lane, 16-0. He's being mitigated quite heavily by Newbee. It's dangerous times ahead, Ryu. It really is.
They're just going to have to survive this first night and then start trying to apply pressure around the map. Because right now they need a lot of levels on their supports, and they needed Enigma to have a great start to this game. That is the one hero, if he gets shut down, you're going to have the hardest game potential. And he just needs to have fast mechanism, fast ulti, make space for his team, push towers, and so far it just hasn't happened.
Kaka Hanskin walks into him, the stun is there and the Hex is available as well. Not clear up the Phoenix again. Another kill for Newbee. Hanskin walked into the open arms of Kakan's Lion and Jantress wasn't even there.
Dive top.
Z-Freak, he's got Grave TP, so How doesn't want to go in too deep. Doesn't know who's behind him. Limp is off the map. Swindles is off the map. There are a lot of heroes kind of just hiding away in the fog. While Moo, bloody hell, he's racing himself up towards that armlet now. 3,300 net worth and climbing as he clears up a couple of juicy little stacks for himself. Armlet is pretty much done.
And he's got the max Grievel's Greed. Well, nah, he goes back for the Acid Spray. I like the 3-3 build, the 3-0 build. 3-0-3. And in this situation, he probably needs to still fight early on, so you have to get the armlet. You can't be super greedy with going the Radiance first, and he'll still have the Radiance at a nicely timed pace here.
Limp. He pops his invis and TP's down towards bottom lane. They want to try and fight this. Moo shows mid. There's a flash of brilliance here from compLexity. If they can get this to work out, they've got TPs on their Phoenix and their Enigma. And if they can just land this RP from Limp, they could start things off and get themselves on the scoreboard, but Chuan...
Where's their burst, though? I don't see their burst at all from compLexity.
It's all about landing spells, honestly. You have to... You've got to land like a 3-man RP into 3-man Sunray into an empowered Chessie who's not level 6 yet, so he has no crit. But Limp, he's going to try and look for the skewer onto KP, I think. He's aiming, he's lining it up, he'll land it, push KP back towards the tower. RP's there as well, but stun out from Kaka slows things down. KP's still alive, the Sunray's out with the Limp, but the damage back. Newbee actually shredding through the Magnus, but he gets himself back into the trees. The jump forward, Chessie looking for the kill. Stick charge and blink forward, it gets that Night Stalker, brings him down. compLexity finally gets something, but Chessie losing his life to two supports. Shockwave back through them, and Newbee forced back. But compLexity, they gave up a lot for that. Ulties, HP, and laning phase just for one kill on a Night Stalker.
Oh yeah, it's not even worth it. And meanwhile, Hal just playing super aggressive top lane. He stopped TP on your Shadow Priest. This is going to be a free tower for Mr. General here. This is 2 armlets complete now for the side of Newbee. Armlet Gaming wins Dota. That is a fact. Oh, that heal bomb though. Who's going to get the tower, though? Oh, denied.
What a player, Z-Freak. Nice little deny there. Moo, though. So his armlet done for him. As Moo's armlet coming out. How has pretty much got his right. It's back in the stash as well. Well, we're going to see... You mentioned armlet on KP, but he's picked up a Gloves of Haste, and I'm wondering if that's going to be a Hand of Midas.
Could be a Hand of Midas in this situation. Because normally if he wanted to go for the armlet build, you would see phase armlet. But in this situation, he's probably like, well, I know we're just going to go later in the game. I want to scale better. I want more levels so that when I do get the darkness, or when I do get the eggs from the alchemist, I will have my level 3 in darkness ready. So I do like the Midas pickup. And he knows this is going to be a very slow-paced game right now. Like compLexity, their timing is when Magnus gets a blink and Enigma gets his mechanism, which won't be for another like 4 or 5 minutes if at this rate. And Newbee, they can just hold out for the late game.
There is just no contest. compLexity cannot contest what Newbee are doing. How is farming jungle? Honestly, Relic is going to be here in the next 2 minutes. Moo is farming away like an absolute champ, while Limp is aiming towards the Blink Dagger. He's about 1,000 away from it. How's Enigma standing right now? Mech, halfway done, pretty much. Not looking too great. Well, Hanskin has finally picked up his brown boots, but we've talked about 2 Newbee heroes. Well, Chuan has pretty much got his Dragonlance done. He's just missing the bands of Elven Skin. And where's the final hero? Night Stalker. What are you sitting on? 1,300 gold in the Gloves of Haste. It looks like it will be that Hand of Midas. But compLexity, they're all grouped up in their own jungle. And powered up, Chessie will clear through a couple of creep camps here and get some nice juicy experience for his mate as well. But Kaka, he's playing with fire at the middle lane. He's actually 1v4 if he's not careful and compLexity get the jump on him. But again, Newbee, they're just shoving lanes, they're farming efficiently, they're keeping this gold flowing into themselves, and you just see it in the net worth graph. It's just steady incline here for them as they race past 5k net worth lead by 10 minutes. And now they get the aggressive wards up as well. They know compLexity is staying a lot in their jungle. If they can just see where compLexity are, as long as they know, as long as Newbee know they're not getting smoked on, as long as Newbee know they're not getting wombo combo down by compLexity, they can just kind of, A move in their jungle. They can AFK, go for a smoke outside, go get a beer down the pub, go to the Winchester and wait until this all blows over, because compLexity, again, cannot contest what Newbee are doing.
I mean, Newbee are doing the right things too. Like they're pressuring bottom lane with the Enchantress and Night Stalker, and they're saying, "Please, compLexity, come on me right now. I want you to."
Come on me?
Yeah, because they're like, "Come at me." I mean, come at me, bro. All right, Thirsty. You're getting a little bit too Kappa pride for me. But
oh my! Yeah, you were the one that said it. It wasn't me.
It's like, come at me, bro. Like,
yeah, come at me. No. Come at me. Yeah, I can understand that one. Yeah. You're the one who wears lipstick on panel, you know.
I like lipstick. It tastes very good. I mean, when you lick it, it's like cherry taste.
Lovely. Dear Lord, what have we devolved into on this stream? Oh my goodness!
I mean, we got 3 kills at 12 minutes, and we know what's going to happen for the next 5 minutes farming. And we have the highest 3 CS. Night Stalker has more CS than all of compLexity, or not all of it combined, but just like all of them. Like Nigma is now first for compLexity. That's when you know the game is looking so bad for compLexity. Like, okay, so we can talk about this kill score and look at the net worth graph, right? It's almost 10K advantage for Newbee, and their late game is better than compLexity. So right now they have like a 20K or 25K even net worth. I'm not even exaggerating with those numbers. That is how far Newbee are ahead right now.
Like, dude, you're gonna have your Radiance in the next 30 seconds. This Ancient stack is gonna give a lot of money over to Moo as he clears it through. But a smoke from compLexity pushes them up towards the top lane, aiming towards a kill, but KP will scout them out and know exactly what's happening. And again, this is what I was saying 3 or 4 minutes ago. As long as Newbee know where compLexity are or where they aren't, they know they're not going to get wombo comboed. They know that they're safe to just keep on farming. And Moo, what are you sitting on now? There's a Yasha going out to How. Chuan's got his Dragon Lance done. Another stack up here on the Ancients. As Kaka gets himself a little bit further away. The vision from that weave. Is it going to be enough? Kaka, yeah, skewered back. Limp barely on the money there with that one. The turnaround with the Earth Spike. He tries to finger down Z-Freak, but Kaka will get dropped. Does compLexity find a kill? But it's just commitment. It is expenditure for scraps. They are scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
Nice find. They would need a black hole for that, and they didn't want a black hole for a Night Stalker. Yep, it's just space made by Lion. That's a really good play. Even though he dies, he forced the counter plays coming in. Like all he did was go in, hex the PA, and then you know compLexity are gonna mass TP to the bottom lane. And then if they're just mass TPing for the bottom lane for a Lion, you just won like 2-3 minutes of farm time.
This is where compLexity starts to really get into the swing of things though. Blink on Limp, yeah, he showcases there that How is a little bit too fast with that rage timing, but Mech on Swindles. They've now got a PA with treads and some lifesteal. Gonna bring out some TPs to someone as well. But this is where you start to look for compLexity's wombo combo. This is where they can really try and put this puzzle together. But Newbee, on the other hand, KP, I was talking about that 25-minute mark where he'll look for that Aghanim Scepter, and he really isn't stalling at all. He is racing straight into it after the Hand of Midas. And they want that vision. They want to know when they're going to get jumped on.
I mean, you have a Radiance at 14 minutes in the game on top of an armor.
It was 12 minutes. It was 12-minute Radiance offer.
You're not even pushing down the tier 1 mid tower at 14 minutes at having 4 heroes from compLexity round. I take that back. 5 heroes now, like all farming together in their little bubble area here. This is just hard to watch right now. They just got completely outdrafted this time, and they're just in a pickle. And in this situation, you can't stop all Swindles.
He's in trouble. He is definitely dead. Swindles taken out of the game pretty quickly there. As the Earth Spike will secure it up. The dive forward. They've got the blink from Limp, and that's stun from Moo. Catches him. Skewer back, still going to get this Alchemist RP onto the solo Alchemist. But a Supernova, Howl rips it to shreds with his rage, and they keep on jumping forward. Limp is going to take the brunt of the damage as Chuan turns around. A few hits here and there with the impetus shots. Not going to clear up Z-Freak, but Chessie, he's the next port of call. Getting himself back up on top of that ramp. But Newbee, I don't know how Moo did it, but he got that stun and landed it on Limp's head.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd hear these words coming out of my mouth right now. Last game was less of a stomp than this game.
And last game was like 1 to 15.
It was like
2 to 28.
Like 35 or something. Or like
2 to 28.
2 to 30. And that is saying a lot. Right now it's just all Newbee all the way, and they just not going to look back for the rest of this game. compLexity, they have to do a desperate smoke. They have to hit the perfect combo, but they don't have a Darkseer. You're all in on Magnus hitting 2-3 man RPs, and even when you do, you just don't have burst damage. That's the worst part about this lineup. You have no burst damage. All you have is heal.
This is how compLexity come back into this.
All right, let's break it down.
Alchemist gets the 25k net worth by 20 minutes.
Okay.
And then he runs at them while his ulti's down, and they pop all their ultis on him, and they kill him, and they get like 3,000 gold from him. And then they can buy an item. Then they can buy some TPs or some branches or something.
All right, and then next?
And then the Dire Throne dies automatically.
So
just because.
From this game.
Yeah, Newbee get vac banned, and they all crash. No, but seriously, it's going to come down to wombo combos here for compLexity. If they can land a couple of good team fights, you know, they can bring themselves back into this, get that gold flowing, get the damage output going as well. PA can ramp up pretty quickly and start scaling decently. But Chessie has had a rough old start of this game.
Yeah. If they don't hit this wombo combo either, all Newbee have to do is just go do Roche or something, or go push a lane. Because not having Enigma Black Hole and not having Magnus ulti is just the easiest time for Newbee, because they have low cooldown spells for everyone. They can just constantly fight, and that's why their lineup is just so much better. It's like if they come back alive, they buy back, they're actually ready to go. Whereas compLexity, you buy back, what the hell do you do? You don't have your ultimate still.
Well, they're going to TP back and defend tier 3, so this push does come in from compLexity onto the tier 2. Where's How? Down on bottom rune spot, but Moo, 15k net worth almost here with an Octarine Core, 18 minutes in, he's closing in on 6 slots, and when we look at the Aghanims upgrades here, Ryu, Night Stalker already has his Aghs pretty much. He's, you know, 1700
He needs an
gold
extra
away.
HP though. Come on.
It's fine, but I'm looking at Enchantress, I'm looking at Lion, I'm looking at even the bloody Life Stealer, you know?
You give it Lion.
Yeah, you drag the Alchemist into you, and then you jump into the Lion, and then you jump yourself around, and well, it's going to be nasty stuff as Newbee walk into the Roche pit, and they want this Aegis of the Immortals secure, consolidate, safeguard, make sure they keep moving forward. There's compLexity and taking a couple of steps back, and they need to put themselves into gear again. Things looking very rough, especially for Hansken. He's level 8, but he's got no items to call his own. You know, we've seen Fly on OG on this Phoenix go like 14-15 minute Midas, but Hansken, he just finished off Tranquils at 19 minutes.
Just got his Ironwood branch. It's that juke. He's gonna make the jukes, and then he's just gonna Icarus dive, kill his own tree for the lulz or something. But oh man, and going back to the Lifestealer, I haven't seen a Lifestealer Aghs since one of my pubs in a long time, and that's very funny because normally in those situations you have like a Pudge on the enemy team where he goes for that rot combo, and somebody gets a Radiance, and like you said, they could literally put Alchemist in with the Radiance. And that would be hilarious to watch. They could be it could be a Radiance Alchemist in an Ancient Creep with the Lifestealer, and then that's just funny watching. The Clown Fest can begin soon.
Now it's Newbee's turn to smoke and play aggressively while KP farms top, but compLexity, they're always going to be grouped up as 5, pushing down tier 1s and tier 2s, looking for any scraps of gold that they can gain. Give this PA a little bit of farm. TPs are coming through here, thick and fast from Newbee. How just wants to clear up this nasty little Alpha Wolf. He's got the Aegis of the Immortal though, so killing him off once it may be a difficult proposition, but killing him off twice is pretty much impossible. And Newbee, I think they realise this, he walks into the creep wave. He doesn't give a solitary damn about what compLexity are thinking about, but they might have to care about it now. There's the Hex into Finger, but Limp, he's ready. The RP catches Kaka, and that's it. compLexity, they've whiffed out. They don't have their combo. Swindles, he's looking for the bloody... No, he's not. No, he's not. No, compLexity, no, you're not. No, there's no black combo. There's no wombo combo. There's nothing. There's nothing here for compLexity. It's 3-9. You lose 4-1. The Lion is the only casualty. And honestly, Newbee, they look like they're just winning this game outright.
I mean, I can't even be unbiased at this stage of the game.
It's not biased. You are saying what you're seeing.
Like, it's like 99.99% in favor of Newbee right now. It's such a tremendous hole to climb out of because of that kind of like disastrous start for the Enigma in that off lane, as we talked about, and their lineup is just. I would rather see that AM pick that I talked about, so at least later in the game they could do something. But this is a Z Freak dead. This poor guy, I just feel bad for him. This is the story of the game. You know, you just farm and then you die if you're complexity anywhere on the map at this stage.
Well, Moo looks unstoppable. There's very little that can deal with him or kill him off. Even if Chessie gets a couple of juicy crits down onto him. Black Hole, of course, is still available, and now the Force Staff has been completed by Swindles. They've got a little bit more mobility, you know, up their sleeves. They can try and get themselves into these team fights. But it's landing their spells that seems to be the problem. Newbee have been so good at spreading themselves out, making sure that no one gets caught in a 3-man RP or a 4-man Black Hole. It's been 1 hero, 2 heroes max, because Newbee know exactly how hard this freight train can hit them if it does get rolling. It does give them a chance.
If Complexity had a Sentry Ward during that bottom team fight and they could have spotted out Moo, like you talked about, not in Chemical Rage, and he was invisible, they could have had potentially won that team fight, but they didn't have a Sentry Ward down and not expecting Invis, Kaka, and Skin, I mean.
Swindles, Force Staff, stuns up Kaka, and there's the jump forward. How has been skewered back into the crit as well, and he has no Aegis left, so Complexity. They take advantage there of Newbee's over-aggression looking for that tier 2 up at the top lane, and they get a couple of really big kills there. That's a 3.2k net worth swing. Chessie gets himself close to 900 gold.
And Moo doesn't have buyback because he just bought his Manta style. I was about to point out that he bought Manta before even having the Octarine push. Now, pushing still against Newbee's lineup is going to be hella hard just because of this Alchemist. But it's still possible.
They've got all their ultis.
Potential.
They have all their ultis. Black Hole, RP, Supernova already here. But Newbee, they're just waiting for this lifestealer to come back to life. 15 seconds until How is back in the battlefield. The tier 2 though looks like it's going to drop slowly but surely. Chessie, oh no, he can't stick around. The acid spray with the Radiance Burn is too much. They can't kill it off. The Complexity, they try to retreat and bail out. The Sunray, it comes through, but the Finger of Death with the Impale. Swindles graved up. Great play by Cole there. They keep the Enigma alive. But on the back end, Moo, oh, Dazzle, shredded, Swindles, trying to run a bail on this one. The RP comes through as well, catches 2, limp, oh, there's the damage output. No, Chessie stunned and cleared through, but the Supernova landing down on their heads. Newbee don't give a flying freak about this damage. All lockdown from Complexity. They just walk straight through you.
I mean, the biggest problem isn't even about, like, how bad they are at pushing out lanes, how bad they are at actually catching heroes, is how bad they are at bursting heroes down. Even if you get that RP, even if it's all based on RP plus Enigma. Like, if that doesn't hit at all on 2 or 3 heroes, it's over because they have no burst damage coming in from Complexity, and now they're just getting overrun in their base, and there's nothing that can really stop them. You'll have PA up here shortly, but you don't have the ultimates we just talked about. I mean, sure, you have the Enigma Black Hole, but it's... I guess they're giving the respect to the Black Hole here, and they're in no hurry to really end this game, as we talked about. They scale way better into the later game.
So you remember how I said Moo would get, 25k net worth for 25 minutes? His GPM is 1,000. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Moo has hit the benchmark.
It needs to go down, because I predicted 900 to 999.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
See, in Knoxville, Statsman, he's actually staying at my apartment while he's moved to Berlin and he's working here, so he's looking for his own place. But we had this discussion, and I said to him, you know what? It's going to go over 1,000. It's going to be that one game where there's an Alchemist or, a Nargasaran or some nonsense like that, where the snowball's out of control. And he said, yeah, you could be right, but the stats say it's going to be between 900 and 999, like you said. That's like the safe bet. But I think Moo might just have cracked it here.
Nah, it's going to go down. They're going to stall for the next 5 minutes, and then it's harder as the game goes on. We'll have to see, though.
Well, what does Moo even buy now? He can sell his Quelling Blade. We've seen Blade Mails, we've seen Shivers Guards, we've seen BKBs and Assault Cuirasses and all that stuff as well. But do you just
AC's really good this game.
Oh, that's a
Shivers.
Yeah, it's like really a preference of Chinese players, it seems, to go for the Shivers Guard or the Blade Mail over the AC or the BKB, just for that kind of slow ability to keep on chasing people.
Yep. The cooldown of 15 seconds with the Octarine is always nice, and plus you just get a lot more value out of it. You get vision too coming in, and that always helps out when it's daytime. Night Stalker's giving you the other one, and just slowing them down too. Oh, here you go.
Oh, juicy Eidolons, the solo black hole from Swindles. It's not really going to help you out, my friend. The skewer back might do with the RP available. Top of the stun lands on the top of the head. KP turns it around as well. Moo always being burnt down, but turn this dagger back again from Chessie, but the heal comes through. Moo's finally dead. The dominating streak taken 1200 gold, but now How comes back in, kills LC3 with Finger of Death, and compLexity trying to stand their ground and fight through this, but Moo has brought back into the game. He runs into them again, and
mad.
they've got nothing left. No ultimates available here from compLexity, and they just ripped apart and shredded one by one, and it's all over. GG is called, and compLexity tap out against Newbee in game number 2, 6-18. Swindle says, no thank you, sirree, I don't want any more of this.
They were just going to push down the top racks and the mid racks in there. They would have been 2 sets of racks, even if they were still playing this game. They had to call GG there, and
1048 is Alchemist
No!
GPM. 1048.
No.
There we
Okay,
go.
I'll win. I'll win because I predicted Newbee to win this whole tournament. So I still have a good chance at that. If they keep this play up, I'll be happy with that because that's a lot more points I can get out of that. And where compLexity are concerned, they need to not draft this. That is 100% certain. And they're just going to have to go back to the drawing board. You cannot open the game up with an Enigma, with a Phoenix. It basically makes all of your lanes weak, and they are forced to go Enigma off lane, and that's not the strategy to win. So
Yeah,
compLexity just outpicked themselves here.
Yeah, it always felt like compLexity were on the back foot drafting and actually playing the game. Newbee were just like, not just one step ahead, they were like 10 steps ahead every single bit of the way. But that's it for us today. 2 games out of a best of 3. Newbee take it 2-0, but head yourselves over onto Dota Major 3, 2, or, well, no number, just Dota Major on Twitch. The other 3 streams should still be running, but myself, I'm Gareth. You can check me out on Twitter and Facebook at GBcasts. Ryu at RyuDota over on Twitter, and Facebook is still Ryu Boros, I believe. Make sure you give
Is that
him...
Ryu Dota? No.
Oh, you've changed it as well. Okay, good stuff.
Yeah.
So you can give him likes and favorites and cat pictures and all of that nonsense if you really
I
want
want
to.
cat pictures.
I definitely want cat pictures. You know, meow, meow. Just